Hello, Cynthia Ann Layton here. Open to courage, and you will increase happiness in your life. I found that to be true. Dare to hope. Dare to trust that you have hope for whatever it is that you want to make happen in your life. And dare to be hope for others. I've discovered that being hope for others lifts me up. I believe it will lift you up also. So find a way to be courageous enough today to step out of your comfort zone and help someone else. Help at least one person each day. Do it from where you are, from what's in front of you. For example, I've been struggling with a lot of health issues, so one of the places that I am consistently is my church community. Thousands of people that I can help, one by one. Sometimes I call and check on someone on the phone. Other times I get up and do a reading. Sometimes in front of just a few dozen people. Sometimes in front of hundreds and hundreds. It helps others. Give a practice. I do a good job. And that helps me. It gives me courage to step out of my comfort zone, to practice, and to get up and speak. Just the words on the page. But it gives me practice. And that's given me the hope to get back to helping people when I'm using my own words, like I am right here, helping you. Thank you for your time. I do want to help you. It can be more personal when you're a member of my subscriber list and you write back to me. You can do that too. Maybe you're not interested in business. Maybe you're not involved in any kind of a church. But you're involved in something. There are people that you interact with every day. Help one of them today. Start from where you are. Smile at a neighbor. Just a smile sometimes is enough to get started. Because that can lift you and the person you smile at up. Check in on someone that you know hasn't been getting out recently. Check in on someone by email, if there's someone that you're pretty sure is checking their email right now. If you think somebody might be ill because they dropped out and you haven't seen them recently, pick up the phone. Or knock on their door if it's a neighbor. Make a difference for one person other than yourself today, and you'll make a bigger difference for you. Because you need the people that you have. I do too. As I help people, I grow. That gives me more courage, more ability, and more willingness to go out and do something, to make a difference. Hello, Cynthia Ann Layton here. Open to courage, and you will increase happiness in your life. I found that to be true. Dare to hope. Dare to trust that you have hope for whatever it is that you want to make happen in your life.
Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's a subordinate, maybe it's a colleague.
Dare to be hope for others.
Smiling at each of those people.
I've discovered that being hope for others lifts me up.
Maybe it's building
I
something
believe
on the side.
it will lift you up also.
Where you're
So
contributing to
find
the
a
world.
way to be courageous enough today to step out of your comfort zone and help someone else.
Maybe it'll lead to a
Help
better
at least
job.
one
Maybe
person
it'll lead
each
to a better
day.
job at the same organization that you're at right
Do it
now.
from where you
Maybe
are,
it'll lead you to be in charge of the
from
internet
what's in
presence
front of
for
you.
that company.
Hello, Cynthia Ann Layton here. Open to courage, and you will increase happiness in your life. I found that to be true. Dare to hope. Dare to trust that you have hope for whatever it is that you want to make happen in your life. And dare to be hope for others. I've discovered that being hope for others lifts me up. I believe it will lift you up also. So find a way to be courageous enough today to step out of your comfort zone and help someone else. Help at least one person each day. Do it from from where you are, from what's in front of you. For example, I've been struggling with a lot of health issues. So one of the places that I am consistently is my church community. Thousands of people that I can help, one by one. Sometimes I call and check on someone on the phone. Other times I get up and do a reading. Sometimes in front of just a few dozen people. Sometimes in front of hundreds and hundreds. It helps others. Give a practice. I do a good job. And that helps me. It gives me courage to step out of my comfort zone, to practice, and to get up and speak. Just the words on the page. But it gives me practice. And that's given me the hope to get back to helping people when I'm using my own words, like I am right here, helping you. Thank you for your time. I do want to help you. It can be more personal when you're a member of my subscriber list and you write back to me. You can do that too. Maybe you're not interested in business. Maybe you're not involved in any kind of a church, but you're involved in something. There are people that you interact with every day. Help one of them today. Start from where you are. Smile at a neighbor. Just a smile sometimes is enough to get started, because that can lift you and the person you smile at up. Check in on someone that you know hasn't been getting out recently. Check in on someone by email, if there's someone that you're pretty sure is checking their email right now. If you think somebody might be ill because they dropped out and you haven't seen them recently, pick up the phone. Or knock on their door if it's a neighbor. Make a difference for one person other than yourself today, and you'll make a bigger difference for you, because you need the people that you help. I do too. As I help people, I grow. That gives me more courage, more ability, and more willingness to go out and do something, to make a difference. Let me become excited. So allow you, yourself, to become excited as you do things, as you help people. Your excitement in doing will lead to happiness. Maybe you've got a job that's not fulfilling for you. Find a way to help someone in that job. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's a subordinate. Maybe it's a colleague. Maybe it's as small as smiling at each of those people every day and making the best of it. Maybe it's building something on the side so that your job isn't the only thing where you're contributing to the world. Maybe it's building an internet presence. Who knows how you'll use it? Maybe it'll lead to a better job. Maybe it'll lead to a better job at the same organization that you're at right now. Maybe it'll lead you to be in charge of the internet presence for that company or that organization. You don't need to know where it's going to lead. You can start something. You can start a nonprofit organization. It's just you out there making a difference in one life at a time. Some days you're going to have a chance to impact more people, like I do on the weekends when I get to read where there's a whole lot of people there. Every now and then there's over 1,000 people that I can impact. Usually I don't volunteer for those days because you can tell in advance when they are. And 500 or 600 people is quite enough for me. But recently I was able to get up and do a reading before a whole lot more than that. And I did it because I practiced. I practiced a whole lot more than the other people do. And I've been doing it for a lot of years compared to most of the people especially. But you know what? I still practice. And that's what makes me good at it. So you can practice helping people by helping someone every day. You can pick up your phone and call someone that you think might be shut in right now. Maybe somebody who's elderly. Maybe somebody who just needs to be cheered up because they just had a baby and they're overwhelmed. Maybe somebody who's had a change in their life that's other than that. Maybe they just got married or they just got divorced or they just became widowed or something changed in their life because they moved. Send a card to somebody who moved. That's a thing that can make a smile on that person's face. Get a few other people that you know them to sign it too. And you can lift up the people that are writing, and you can lift up the people that you're sending the cards to. There's little things you can do that make a difference. Even sending something as simple as a birthday card from you, or a holiday card for a special holiday. Maybe it's St. Patrick's Day, maybe it's Valentine's Day, maybe it's Grandparents' Day. Pick something. That's why those cards are so popular. They do make a difference. So dare to hope. Dare to trust that you'll have hope. Whatever your situation is, whatever you're facing, everybody has bumps in their life. Some of those bumps are bigger than others. And sometimes when you have a whole lot of bumps in a row, like health challenges, like I've been doing, it's overwhelming. And you don't know where to start. Well, here I am to tell you, do what I'm doing. Start where you are. You might not be able to do much. Many of the things you used to be able to do, you'll be able to get back again. Some of them you won't. Some of them, who knows, 10 years from now you might be doing something bigger than that for those same people in a slightly different way. But that's not where you are today. Do from where you are today. Do from what's in front of you. And don't give up on your hopes. Do dare to hope. You can achieve your dreams. You might need to whittle them down to size, but you can achieve them. You may need to alter them. You may need to go out and, make extra money so that you can hire someone to do the parts that you can't do yourself. But you know what? When you open yourself to courage, it's about doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. Because courage isn't that you're not afraid. Courage isn't that you know what you're doing. Courage is getting up and doing anyway. Courage that leads to happiness is doing things that are stretching you to grow. Oh, your comfort zone. Those things that you can do because they're in your routine. Well, those routines are exactly how you can expand that comfort zone, by doing things that are requiring a bit of courage. It can be scary to pick up the phone and call somebody you don't know very well. But you know what? It can make a difference. And as you do that, well, when they come on bumps, you might be able to really make a difference in their life because you've been there, helping them in little ways. And then something small that you do in a time of severe trial for them can make a bigger difference than having someone else do that small thing for them. Because you've become known. You've become part of their circle. You've become someone who cares. And just being there, a few words from you, to make all the difference in the world when something disastrous perhaps occurs, or when something wonderful happens that's still overwhelming. Open yourself to the courage of daring to do what you can do now, and it's going to lead to other opportunities. Who knows what they are? But one part of that is that they are going to be is happiness for you. Because when you work from where you are, you're pouring yourself into the world in a way that's going to come back to you. And just the doing of it increases the happiness in your life. Just the doing of little things. It doesn't have to be something big. Oh, it may turn into something big, bigger than you even dare to dream. Start now by doing things, daring to hope, and also daring to grab a little bit of courage and do something about it. What is it that you want to make happen in your life? Dare to trust that you have a hope of doing that. Dare to find something small that's in it, that's related to other people in a way that you could practice helping someone with it. I mean, if you wanted to Build an internet presence, for example, for an organization you care about, whether it's your job or a community you're a part of. You could start really simply by connecting with the people that are part of that organization and finding out what they want, finding out what they care about. Maybe starting a little notebook, jotting things down, so that maybe every day you add 25 words to that little notebook. Maybe at the end of a year, you'll have an idea based on reading those notes. Maybe it won't take a year. Maybe it'll take longer. It doesn't matter. Your life is there. Your life is there for the building. You can be the best that you can be when you take a life perspective. Don't try to do everything today, and don't think that if you can't do it today, you can't do it. I've found that my passion, my enthusiasm, and my even ability to celebrate small things makes a big difference. As I appreciate my life, I grow my life. As I learn, I begin to achieve more of my potential. As I dream my dreams, and as I prepare to really live my life, I do things that are out of my comfort zone. I open myself to courage. And as I do, I find that I do increase the happiness that's in my today. So do things. Allow yourself to do things that you don't know how to do. Learn along the way. Allow yourself, as you learn, not to just be frustrated, but to accept that, okay, I'm at the beginning of learning something. Of course I don't know how to do it. Allow yourself, as you do, to become excited. Because excitement in doing things leads to happiness. Your life can have a whole lot more happiness when you start to become more involved in your life, more involved in looking at helping others, even if it's just one person that you fill out each day until you get the hang of it. Connect with other people. Find a way to be kind to someone today in a way that helps them. Oh, if you're trying to do it as picking up the phone, you may have to call 20 people before somebody answers the phone. But you know what? If you leave 20 voicemails, you've probably helped 20 people right there. So it could be as simple as learning to leave a voicemail that lifts someone up and doing just one of those a day. Reach out to the people who are in your life in front of you right now. Open yourself to the courage to dare to interact with them in bigger ways than you have been. Just something tiny, really small. Something as simple as sending a note or writing a note, folding it up and putting it in your pocket and remembering either the next time or the time after that to give it to that person with a smile. It could be as simple as a thank you note. Just a few words. Their name, your name. Thank you for this. Building that kind of a habit leads to happiness because you get more involved in the world in ways that, well, increase your joy, increase your peace, help you to be realistic about choosing small things to put on your to-do list, small things that are really doable. You really can get the things done that you write down. It feels a whole lot better to write down a few things and get them done well than to write down a whole lot of things, not do very many of them, or not do any of them well. And picking your task is what helps you to do something well. Pick a task that's within your ability. Hey, if the best you can do right now is smile at one person and look all day for that one person, that's where you are. If you're listening to this in a hospital, hey, smiling might be really hard, but I'm guessing if you do that from your hospital bed, you'll feel better about your life. And I'm guessing a lot of people will be relieved to see you smiling, your doctors and nurses, your family. And if you're in a better situation than in a hospital bed, smile at yourself in the mirror. Celebrate that you've got this day in front of you to do whatever you want to make your life better. Because whatever challenges you're facing, there are tiny choices you can make. Tiny choices to look for ways to help people. So learn to achieve your potential like I am. One tiny, tiny bit at a time. Dream your dreams. Prepare to really live your life, starting from exactly where you are right now. Whatever your restrictions, whatever your challenges might be. Dare the courage to make today be a true new beginning. The courage to do what is in front of you right now. For example, you've got a lot of different areas of life. So do I. In one area, well, I want to build a business, and there's not a whole lot that I can do. So I started out reading, writing. I started those parts out really slowly. I added in writing a little email. I was really bad at all those things, but I'm getting better. I added in YouTube. Man, that was terrifying. Before that, I guess, I started doing little tiny recordings. Now I actually schedule a weekly call. I commit to doing a call at that time. I take especially good care of myself in the day and on that day and the day before that call, so that I'm more likely to be able to do it. So far, I've managed to do it. And I try to avoid other schedule conflicts, but sometimes, like one that I've got coming up, I just have to schedule it for a different day. So I give myself that flexibility. But I also give myself the target that I am going to try to do it at that particular time. It gives me something to put into a routine. Makes it a bit easier to do. That helps me to get better a little bit quicker, I think, because it is a stable, regular part of my week. I do think about it ahead of time. And I pay attention to the emails that I get from my subscribers so that I can figure out what kinds of things need to be in that call to be helpful to someone who might be likely to listen. I'm keeping these recordings and using them. I mean, they are evergreen. It's not just today that this is a useful topic. I mean, you do need to open to courage, and so do I, every day of our lives. And as we open to courage, we increase our happiness in our life because we're doing things that are growing us. Because when you step out of your comfort zone, even if your toes get stubbed, you've gained the ability to try something. And it does take courage for that. And if you do enough things, you're not going to stub your toes every time. And when you stub your toes, well, you've grown. And as long as you're doing small things, it will be just tiny stubs of your toes, not like something really big. So, for example, right now I'm snowed in. I gave away my cross-country skis years and years ago. It's not something that I can dare to do. Matter of fact, I need to just stay inside so I don't even slip on just walking. But maybe something bigger like skiing or swimming is there for you today. If so, do it. Right now, for me, I know you need to get like a half hour of something in each day for your health. So I have this little 2-minute timer. And I've taken out some paper clips. I need to make sure I do at least 2 minutes of vigorous exercise. Well, eventually 15 times a day. We'll see how I get. But just like a little Irish step dance that I'm doing right now. A very, very simple 3 and 7 step thing. But it gets me going for 2 minutes of vigorous exercise. I can't go outside right now. Can't even get to church. It's just not safe for me where I'm at right now in my life. Yeah, a lot of people are out there. I can see people out there right now, but it's not part of what I can do right now. I recognize that that's a restriction, and I'm staying safe by staying indoors. But I'm stretching my comfort zone. Instead of just walking around, I know I need to get a bit more exercise than that because I'm not getting my daily walk. So I'm doing what's in front of me. And I'm gaining back some of the vigor of my body from doing something, a tiny part of something I used to be able to do long ago. And I'm doing it in two-minute things. I even had to build up to this. Today we'll see if I get to 15 or not. It's the first time I'm going to start counting. But my target is to get to 15 because I know I can't get out and go for a nice long walk. And I know walking back and forth is good, but it doesn't build up, enough of a stride to give me the kind of movement that I need for my body. So everything is like that. You've got restrictions. I've got restrictions. But you still can live your life, and so can I. I can still grow. And if I can get through the kind of health challenges I'm facing, I'm guessing. And as I model that for you, as I give you examples, as I build this little business, it's really little right now, but that's maybe even more useful to you because as I grow and as my business grows, you'll be able to see that you can do that too. Because I am making bumps. If you look at my website, slowselfimprovementguide.com, my blog, the really early ones are not even indexed. You have to go to the bottom and page to the last. They're really bad. So I didn't even index them. I didn't even start indexing them at that time. Now I have my 10 steps, so I index things under the 10 steps. But, someday I'm going to be pretty good. I don't want you to feel like, I can't do that. I want you to be able to go and look, okay, I could do that. That's the older ones. The same thing for my YouTube. My goodness. I'm much better, but I have a long way to go. But I've left the other ones up there. You'll see I don't have an audience. Most of them have no views. Every now and then someone will come and watch some of them. But eventually, I'm going to be starting to create quality things that have clarity in terms of not just the content, but the voice and in terms of, the way it comes across. Getting rid of the echo that I've had trouble with sometimes when I insert my recordings in. I'm going to get better at that. And you'll be able to see that I didn't start out that way. You'll be able to see that I'm way worse than you'll be on your first one as I got started and as I'm going right now. But that should give you not a poo-poo looking down on it. It should give you oh, wow, I can have courage too. Because you know what? You've got skills I don't have. You've got a lack of restriction that I'm missing in my life right now. But as I go forward, I want to inspire you to look at your life and see what is in front of you right now. Because there are small things that you can do. Small things that are way out of your comfort zone. And yes, you're probably not going to enjoy them the first time. But if it's part of something that you're excited to make happen, and it's safe, it's within the realm of possibility for you, I encourage you to open yourself to courage. Take a tiny step outside of your comfort zone. Be really careful of your toes, especially in the beginning. Don't stub your toe too much at the beginning. Just push the comfort zone a bit. Just that. And as you do, dare to dream, dare to hope, and dare to piece together whatever it is you want to make happen in your life. Even if some of them you write down on a list that you put away that I want to do this later, and I probably won't be able to do it myself, so I'm probably going to need to earn the money to hire somebody to do it for me. You can have a list like that. Don't have it on today's to-do list, but have it on a little list that maybe you keep aside. It's okay to write that kind of thing down. As you do, you'll start to realize that there are things you can do. Because you're going to dare to learn how to do them. Because you're going to prepare to do them. You're going to do the baby steps that lead up to them. Just like a baby who wants to walk. Just like looking into the past of an Olympic runner. That guy who's the fastest in the world right now. He was just like you one time. He needed to learn to stand up. He needed to take a step. And along the way, he needed to fall down. And so did you. We all do. It's part of the nature of being human. And sometimes when we fall too many times or we have too many bad things happen, we withdraw into our comfort zone. That makes sense. And there's going to be times when you need to do that. But there's also going to be times, like baby, that you're going to need to stand up. You're going to be ready to fall down. You're going to be ready to stand back up and take another step and another step. If you open yourself to courage. You see, the baby in you didn't know about falling down. The baby didn't know about stubbing the toe. But the baby managed to get through that. Baby had people around to encourage appropriate steps. Not down the stairs, for example, on flat surfaces. And just like that, you need to have people around you who encourage you to learn to walk on a flat floor before you learn to step down the stairs. You need to do what's appropriate to where you are right now. And doing that does require courage, because it can be really scary, even within our comfort zone. Stretching them, wow, that takes courage. So grab it. Decide that today is a new beginning for you. The courage to do what's in front of you is within. It's within you. You'll need to get better as you do things, and you will as you continue doing things. As you build morning and evening routines, you'll start to be able to include things into your day that you thought you were too busy for. You'll be able to push some of the things, well, that take a longer time than they need to. You'll be able to push them into tinier time slots. And when you put the best of you into doing what's most important, you'll manage to get the other things done. But put the best of you into, well, things that take courage. And you're going to start the increasing happiness in your life, because you'll start to see that when you pour the best part of your day into something, I mean, that might be for midnight for you, or it might be at 3 a.m., or it might be at 6 a.m., or noon. But if you set aside your best time of the day to learn something new, to apply it in ways that make a difference in the lives of you and other people, you'll start to see, like I am, that you can build something. I don't know what it's going to be. A life. For me, that's going to include having a business. For you, that might include, who knows, getting a degree in something. I've already been there and done that. I've already got degrees. I'm applying them. I'm really grateful that I have them. That education has given me the ability to know how to learn. I'm really applying that now. And it's given me a whole lot of other things, including the determination to get through the tests where life delivers you bumps, and I need to keep going. I need to move forward. I've had successes in the past in business and in getting degrees, in working, and a lot of things, and so have you. Recognize your achievements. Spend some time with yourself. I don't know, take yourself out to dinner, all by yourself. Sit in a corner in the restaurant where nobody's going to disturb you other than the wait people. And dare to dream. Dare to dream of what you're missing in your life. Dare to dream of the things that are in your life that you want to be bigger in your life. Dare to dream of what you can push aside into smaller time blocks. Maybe something that takes an hour can get done, well, in 15 minutes a day. And that'll free up 45 minutes for you. Maybe something like your favorite TV show can be saved for another year. If it's a really popular one, you could probably buy discs of it or stream it later. If it really matters to you, even if you have to wait 5 years, hey, you could take a break, take a vacation, and watch that 5 years, I don't know, all at once. Or just every once in a while. But there's a lot of things in your life that you can push aside into smaller spaces so that you can free the time to do something that's important to you. And if you schedule it for a time when you're at your brightest, at your most rested, or at your most vulnerable, whatever is best for that particular activity, you'll be able to make things happen in your life. They go beyond your daring to dream. You'll be able to prepare to really live your life in a way that is beyond your dreams. And as you go, you're going to have bumps. Yes, you're going to have a lot of bumps. But you know what? As long as you keep using that courage that you gained, you'll continue increasing your happiness through courage, through the doing of what's in front of you each moment. That's different from one moment to another. That's different from a time of celebration and a time of mourning. And you can still keep moving forward through all of those different kinds of times. There's an importance of trust and courage that helps you to avoid self-pity and other things that don't feel so good. There's an importance of trust and courage that really reminds you that you can do today what is in front of you. What's in front of you, if you take something small as an aspect of it, you can do. And if you can't, find something smaller. There's something in front of you that you can do. Doing that frees you to do your best here and now. Doing that which is in front of you. Not that which is going to be in front of you in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years from now. You'll have different abilities then. You are who you are today. And you can handle today whatever you're facing. As long as you do it one moment at a time. For me, I find gratitude helps me to do that. Find what works for you. And apply it. Apply it to preparing yourself to really live your life and to really dreaming your dreams and making what you want to have happen begin to happen for you and for those you have. There's also, a basic concept of trust that I find in courage, that I can lift up my spirits and inspire myself by daring teeny tiny courageous acts, by daring to do what I need to do that's in front of me here and now. Again, I can't begin to say that you can do anything, but you can do what's in front of you right now. And you break it into the smallest elements. Because there's something you can do about where you are right now. It's not going to change things overnight. But there's something that you can do, that you can begin having a daily habit of doing, that will change your life. That will give you the happiness that you want. Through the courage that you can have today. Oh, you're going to need patience because there's going to be bumps. There's going to be slowness that frustrates you. Hey, that's even why I named my blog Slow Self-Improvement Guide. Recognizing that you need a deeper level of patience than you may have. Recognizing that there are going to be bumps. There's going to be slowness and wrongness and incompleteness. And yet, I find as I continue to have courage, to exhibit courage by taking action, it keeps me busy. It grounds me. It helps me to let go of fear while I'm doing. Maybe the fear will keep coming back for you. But while you're doing something courageous, there is a level of excitement. Maybe it's adrenaline, I don't know. But there's something that gives you a focus on what you're doing when it's something you can do. And when it's something just slightly beyond your comfort zone, you can do it. When it's too far beyond your comfort zone, like that example I said, stubbing your toes. Well, you want to be careful about that because that's kind of maybe where fear comes from, is stubbing your toes too many times or worse. But getting back the wonder that the baby has and the willingness to stand up and stand up and stand up, no matter how many times you fall. Well, that basic trust that's underlying that helps you to let go of the day-to-day anxieties of modern life, because it gives you the ability to reach down deep and find the determination that's in there and apply it to right now. And that's what life is about. It's about right now. Yes, you've got a past. Yes, you've got a future. You're living right now. What you do right now. If you open yourself to courage, can bring a world of happiness to you and those you care about. Inspire yourself by daring the tiny, courageous acts that really are where you're at right now, really in front of you. Not somebody else's courageous acts, but yours. You've got talent. You've got abilities. You've got connections. You've got resources of inner strength that you can bring to bear. If you bring them to bear in the present moment. Courage needs to be practical. Dare to be practical enough to do something that's small enough to fit within a gentle stretching of your comfort zone. As you do, you'll have more moments. And in those other moments, your comfort zone might be bigger, or it might happen along the way and your comfort zone gets smaller. But it's the action, and it's the fittingness. It's the fitting it into where you are right now. So for example, I really want to be outside breathing fresh air and walking. As I record this, right now, that's not within my limitations. If I go outside in all this snow, I might get hurt. And right now, I don't think that I'm ready to deal with that. So I'm not going to risk that. You need to look at what you need to risk. Maybe you need to risk bigger things. Maybe you don't. Only you know. You're in a place right now in your life where you have challenges. Sometimes it's not wise to risk adding in other challenges. Sometimes it's wise to pick those challenges carefully. So I've picked my business, making that happen. I'm staying indoors. And I'm still getting my exercise. As I talk right now, I'm walking back and forth. That's giving me a tiny bit of exercise. And I see in front of me my silly little 2-minute timer that, the sand flows through, and my silly little paper clips. It's like, I don't know, I figured out a way of tracking to make sure that I don't let not being able to walk outside turn into not moving enough. It's vigorous moving, not just slowly walking back and forth inside. Figure out what it is for you today. What do you need to do? And what is the best part of your day? How can you more effectively use that best part of your day? I mean, don't sleep if it's your best part of your day. If you're a midnight person, hey, do your best work at midnight. If you're a 4 a.m. person, hey, do your most important thing that first hour of the day. If you help people all through the day, your most important thing might be sitting down and spending that hour on meditation, on prayer. If you're someone who's also in surgery, well, you might need to schedule that surgery for your best time of the day. Even if that's not the way your job really works, you might need to move things around so that you're able to do your hardest ones during your best hours. Yes, even something as silly as midnight or 4 a.m. That's what's best for you. Find what's best for you. Find what's in front of you. Figure out who you are. That's what I'm doing. Every time you add a new restriction, something like a health challenge, it changes who you are. That's what I mean by now. Who are you right now? What's a challenge that you can give to yourself to grow from where you are right now? What's something that does take courage? I mean, for me, this takes courage, just talking to you right now. As you listen to other things that I record, over time, I'm going to get better. I know that. And yet, as I do it right now, this is where I am right now. I'm doing the best I can. It's nowhere near as good as it's going to be in the future. And it's not as bad as it was in the recent past. So there's trust and courage. It helps you to do where you are. Another thing that courage, I find, is useful for is that it helps me to respond rather than react. When I'm consciously choosing the path of courage, it helps me to make decisions, not to simply react to what happens. And sometimes what it helps me to do is to respond with taking a day off. Maybe you need to do that today. Maybe that's what you should have done yesterday. Maybe it's what you need to do tomorrow. But being aware that you're making decisions does help you to respond, even when it's as simple as recognizing that right now what you need is a day off. Or maybe responding means recognizing that what you're facing is a big obstacle. And big obstacles need to be broken down into tinier steps so that you can pick something that you really can do here and now. Maybe you're trying to do too much of it today. Maybe you need to spend a really long day doing a really small part of it. Maybe you need to spend a whole year working on that one small part so you really get it down so that next year that'll be something you can do more in a background mode. It won't be a big challenge because it'll be something you're accustomed to doing. It'll be in your comfort zone. And as you learn to respond, you're going to learn to celebrate too. And responding helps me to celebrate the small accomplishments along the way. And that lifts me up, inspires me, and helps me keep going. So I find responding is a useful thing that I get from courage. Maybe you will too. And courage, as I be courageous with these little tiny things I do each day, it helps me to imagine doing well. It helps me to imagine my life being stronger and better and more helpful to more people. It lifts my energy as I imagine doing well. And it lifts my willingness to do the silly, small, broken things that I can't quite do right now in the ways that I can do them right now. It helps me to be willing to put up an article that might not be very long or might be long and bad. It helps me to do whatever is best from me at that moment. Oh, tomorrow I might look back at it and think that was silly. So I don't look back. I look to where I am now. Oh, I reflect back, but I don't get stuck in it. I don't go back and re-edit all my old articles. That's where I was then. That was the best I could do then. And this right now is the best I can do right now. I hope next week I'll be better. I hope every week that I'll be better. And there are going to be times when I am better, and there's going to be times where there's bumps, but over the course of years, there's going to be a progression of me improving. And as I imagine that, it increases my peace. It increases my joy. It increases my okayness, my happiness about being realistic. That right now, my small doable to-dos are smaller than they will be in the future. But that's where I am. And that helps me to show up. It helps me to be who I am right now. It helps me to do what I can do right now. I think as you do that too, with courage, imagining yourself doing well, it's going to help you to realize that courage and doing small things will mean a lot for you and for your family. I also find that courage increases my interest. As I act with courage in these small things that I'm almost able to do and these small things that I'm becoming able to do, it helps me to show up fully. It helps me to be really me, to who I am right now. And it helps me to find things be interesting, not so much fearful. Would increasing your interest in your life, your fascination, your passion, would that be useful to you? Well, if so, act with courage in small things of where you are right now, and you'll start to get it. Your life will become more interesting and less fearful. I find courage increases my compassion too. My compassion for me and where I am right now. It helps me to tenderly care for me, to balance my needs, to get the sleep that I need, whatever it takes. Sometimes it takes naps during the day. Sometimes it takes extra time meditating, extra time in prayer. Balance for me is moving. I really like to walk outdoors. And balance for me is getting out with my community to church. I really like to be there. It's still happening. Other people can get there. But for me, staying indoors and making up little exercises that I can do right now is where I'm at. So my courage right now is having the courage to do what I can do. And that gives me compassion for me. Because as I tenderly care for myself and balance my needs, I see the results in my life. Even small things, like I noticed I wasn't drinking enough water. So for a long time now, a few weeks, well, more than a month, I've been drawing little circles and checking them off as I get another glass of water into me. Eventually, I'll get to the point where I don't need to track it. Like other things in my life. I don't need to track them. They happen. Right now, I need to track even the basics of consuming water because I wasn't getting enough water. And that's important for health. So in compassion for myself, just like I'm tracking, other things, I started tracking the water that I consume. Have compassion for yourself. Notice the things that you need, that you're not getting, and figure out ways to get them. Courage will help you to dare to take better care of you. And courage, I've found, also increases my stick-to-itiveness. I don't know that that's really a word, but that's what it's doing. I'm sticking to what I want to do. I want to heal, and I want to have a business. Both of those are going slowly. But I'm letting go of the past, letting go of the future. I'm sticking to what I need right now. A lot of that is rest. And some of that is doing. I need to be doing. You need to be doing too. Do things that require courage. Do things that just doing them day after day requires courage of commitment. And as you do, you'll open to more courage in your life.
By the way, if you want my 10-step program to improve your life, click the description of this presentation or type into a browser, software-enterprise.com. It's free. Thanks for being here. This is Cynthia Ann Layton, owner of Software Enterprise Limited.